Hello, folks. We'll be starting here in just a few moments, just loading the save. It's not really third time's a charm finish. I think we might have actually sank the Shokaku and Suikaku. I'm not 100% sure, but I think we might have. So I was looking at it, and I believe, what's this? I believe we put 3 or 4 bombs. Well, why are these all red? That's weird. This was not 0 minutes ago. That's some issue with the save. So I believe we may have actually sank the Shokaku and Suikaku because I was looking back at it. I think we put a minimum of 3 bombs into each, and then maybe a 4th or a 5th bomb into one of them. And if you look back at the Battle of Coral Sea, I think it's Shokaku took 3,000-pound bomb hits and was very badly damaged. She almost sank on her way back to port in a storm. So if we were to have put a 4th or 5th 1,000-pounder into him, that might have been enough. And also, toward the end of the last stream, we saw her escorts heading north without either of the carriers. I can't imagine they would have left the carriers unescorted if they were still floating. So I think we sank. I mean, we know for a fact we saw bombs on both carriers. This isn't a midway situation where it's like, oh, well, we misidentified them, because in the initial attack, we saw both burning. Like, we literally saw them from, I zoomed in on one, it was burning, and you could see just across the way, the other one was burning. So no, it's our third. So we played the playthrough once 3 days ago or so. Then we reloaded it 2 days ago. And we did the initial sort of wave. We wiped out the initial incoming Japanese waves. We launched an airstrike against the carriers. We put bombs into 2 of them. And then we ended up streaming again earlier today, where we spotted the Kaga. So if we look here, these are, I don't know why, it's like it refreshed all of the contact reports, but these are the same contacts. So we spotted the carriers last here. Then later today, we spotted the surface task force, which was the carrier's escorts moving north. We put a bomb into one of the heavy cruiser escorts. But then we spotted the Kaga up here. So we know the Kaga's in the area. Now, this is an extremely long-range shot. It is already almost 3 o'clock. We have air groups on the way back from hitting the cruisers. I don't know if I'll have time to get them aboard and then launched again before night. Do we have... I think these search groups are also all back on deck. Yeah, these guys are all back. Nobody had the fuel to loiter over the Kaga indefinitely. But we did take a bomb hit in this. If you missed the afternoon stream today, we did have a bomb hit the Lexington. It does look like, despite damage to the mid-flight deck, they were able to patch it. So you can see bomb damage here, but the flight deck's still operational. We've still got aircraft taking and landing off of her, so it's still operational. What do you mean the area? You had to switch to Twitch. The area that YouTube dedicates to the video is too small. I don't know what that means. Are you not full screen, Finish? I don't understand that. When you go full screen, it should be the full screen both times. Oh, it removes the chat. Okay. That's what you meant. I don't watch on YouTube a whole lot. All right, might as well do our intro. We never really did that. We just jumped into playing, huh? Hello everybody, it's the Historical Gamer once again, and today we are returning to Task Force Admiral, the demo of this upcoming World War II operational war game, I guess is the best way to put it. We are into our third stream, probably our fourth or fifth YouTube video, depending on when you are watching this. But this is the Battle of Coral Sea. We are playing the Kaga variant of the demo, where they added a third Japanese carrier to the Battle of Coral Sea. We have been fortunate so far. In our previous videos, we detected Japanese carriers up this way. They sent attacks down on us. Our fighters ravaged those attacks. We suffered no damage in those initial attacks on us. We were able to get our own aircraft out and ended up putting bombs, 3 to 4 bombs in both the Shokaku and Suikaku. And so I thought they were just damaged. It looked like they had put the fires out. It didn't seem like they were damaged. We sent a recon strike or recon flight out after that. Ignore these red. This is when you apparently when you reload the save, all your previous contacts are refreshed, but these are not up to date. When we sent our recon flights out, they didn't detect the carriers. They were gone, and their escorts were heading north, which to me tells me the carriers sunk. That would be great news. We launched a major strike against the escorts and put a bomb into one of the heavy cruisers just now. And so we have our flight from both of those carrier strikes on the way back. That's what these yellow things are here to us. Meanwhile, we also detected the Kaga up north here. We did not launch a strike. She's out of range of our torpedo bombers, but she is in range of our dive bombers. If we strip them down, get rid of their 100-pounders, which frankly, those are kind of useless bombs anyway, and go for them. So I think what we may do, if we can, I don't know if we can or not, it's 3 o'clock. The aircraft probably won't all be back on deck until what, like 4 or 5 o'clock? But if we can, I would like to launch a strike on the Kaga before the sun goes down. Kaga did send 2 airstrikes against us as well, each of 20 plus. Our fighters intercepted and ravaged those. That one of those did put a bomb into the Lexington, but she seems to be fine. Carrier deck says destroyed, but we've got flight ops going, so it must not be too destroyed. There's a little ugly bomb crater on the center of the Lexington, but she must have planked over the damage because the lady looks lovely. Lady Lex doing well. Good results for us. So we'll see if we can, we'll see if we can do it. But that is for maybe a little bit later, because we've got aircraft inbound. We've also got our recon flights, which are about to land. You can see these guys are coming in. I have to use Devastators for the recon flights up on the Kaga, though, because the range is too great. So we flew these Devastators out. They've got longer range. Or sorry, we flew these SBDs out, Dauntlesses out, because the range was too great for the Devastator. Meanwhile, our nav flights coming back in. Didn't lose too badly. I don't even know if we lost any of our bombers, actually. I think they all are fine. I think they all dropped, and they're flying back in pretty formations to come rejoin the fleet. Let's take a look at the bigger flights. I just love the images of this when you've got all these guys flying and, flying in formation. It's so pretty. So pretty. If we take a look at how many aircraft we have left, that's a little bit less of a pretty story. Let's take a look at the squadrons here. So Yorktown has 17 dive bombers and VB5. I don't know that they've lost a plane. VS5 also 15 planes. I don't know that either of these guys have lost any aircraft, but I will say in this last attack, the only bomber that did any damage was in the Lexington group. in the raids on the carriers, the only bombers that did real, I think we got one bomb out of the Yorktown groups on one of the carriers on the second strike, but Lexington went in first and did almost all the damage on their carriers. So Yorktown's bombers are in pretty good shape. The VF-42, the fighter group, less so. They've flown 24 sorties today, 29 air-to-air combat kill claims, but they've lost 9 of their aircraft. So only 5 are left of the original, 14? Lexington's fighter group has 8 fighters left. They've flown 39 sorties. They've claimed 88 enemy air-to-air kills. I'm sure there's fog of war in there because we definitely haven't gotten as many hits or as kills, I don't think. At least if I look at the dive bomber claims, you know, like Yorktown, we said their bombers sucked. These guys claimed 12 bomb hits. I don't think they've gotten 12 over the 2 strikes. 15 bomb hits? I don't think so. But anyway, Lexington, 8 fighter aircraft left. We just lost 4 when we tried to intercept some aircraft that I thought were coming my way, but I guess they were just fighters, so that was not a great result. But we do only have 4 dive bombers in each of the squadrons of the Lexington left, and only 1 torpedo bomber. So Lexington's air group is very heavily, you know, what do you call it? Depleted. If we take a look at the task force as a whole, we look at the fleet information, we're down to 63 aircraft out of an original 117 or so. Maybe it was 111. That leaves us with 40 dive bombers, more than enough to deal with an enemy carrier, assuming we can get through their fighter cover. 13 fighters, which might not be enough to deal with enemy attacks. However, if we really did shoot down 40 or so of the enemy attack aircraft off of the Kaga, I don't know that they really have much of a striking force left. We also did shoot down a couple of Jake recon planes, which is pretty cool because when we looked at the enemy task force, we saw their escort cruisers, and the escort cruisers Jakes that we had shot down, those planes were not on the rails for recon, but the other cruiser, which apparently hadn't launched it, still had its Jakes on the catapult rails. So that was pretty cool. Hey Wolfpack, how you doing? Okay. All right, so I mainly think I have to wait. I don't know that we can do anything other than wait for these aircraft to come back. So I guess we'll do that. Let's speed things along, shall we? I don't know why it says ingress. The updates here on the right are really delayed. So we did recover, I guess, did we recover our nav? Our recon flights? It looks like it. I suppose, how close are these guys? These are getting pretty close to landing, right? So let's do this. Let's go ahead and get up here. Can we plan? Because we don't have good intel on the Kaga. Oh, by the way, we also did at one point spotted what I think was the landing force over here. We only spotted 1 ship and it was a transport. I assume these are the guys going to Moresby. But let's go ahead and see. Can we do a recon flight here? Or a new air search? Says these guys are debriefing, but can we create a new search? I don't know how many planes I have left to pull from. 2? Do we have any TBDs? They can't reach that far. Okay. All right. What about Lexington? Does she have any on board? Just Devastators. She's got 3, but they're all too short ranged. I suppose for the Lexington, we could just make sure the enemy carriers aren't still out here somewhere. Or maybe we can... Is it worth trying to hope that the enemies turn south for us? Probably not. Can they spot the enemy landing force? No, they're too far out that way. I suppose just a wide search like this. Let's narrow the arc. Let's hope they spot him going out this way. I would like to be able to get these guys off the deck, although I suppose it says aircraft are landing, but I'd like to be able to get the recon flight out ASAP so that by the time I've recovered the bombers, we can send them out again. What time is nightfall anyway? It's only 3 o'clock. We've checked to the east further than you think, Hauser. The last recon we had went like this far east. I don't think there's any world where they could have gotten outside the search arc that we created. I'm more or less just checking on the surface task force that I bombed to see what the status of that is. Hey, no handle. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, let's see if we can get these guys. All right, they got off the deck. No, continue. A strategic objective was completed. The enemy retreated. I sure hope they're still on the map. I'm gonna be really disappointed if it's like you win and then they vanish. It says we've disengaged? I don't think so. All right. These guys landing? No, they're coming around. Look, a turbo speed landing. Hey, Just Good Gaming. Look at all the planes. They're coming back. I'm not going to be satisfied if we can't bomb Kaga. Yeah, but what time is night? What time is sunset? It's May. I can't imagine sunsets before 6. Boing, boing. Boing, boing. Guys, what are you doing here? Aircraft just playing a little bit of just some love taps there. Don't mind that. Oh, good news, by the way. Our slight plot twist. Originally, I was supposed to be this far south. I turned the carrier north, hoping that we would have the air groups run into us while we were, you know, across their path. Even though we changed the course, they still spotted us. So I suppose that's good if you're trying to test out like where you can actually adjust courses and things like that. They have RDF for stuff like this. But would we even be emitting? I have not played Terra Invicta. I heard it is getting to 1.0 soon though. You can see the progress of our search groups here. One of our recon planes, I think, coming back. There we go, there we go, there we go. All right. Carriers spotted. I'm assuming this is carriers. Are they really headed south? Will we get a better look on them if we just go a little bit of time? It's got to be a carrier. Divert, you fool. Divert! There wouldn't be a surface task force here. It does say 1 CV. I don't know why. Dun 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 dun. meatball. Hello, Kaga. Wouldn't it be a shame if something happened to that delightful meatball on your deck? All right. Best possible date. Landing will be 8 o'clock. Fuck it. Oh, those guys can't reach. Torpedo bombers can't reach. All right. Make it easier on the aircraft. We're going to head north. We'll send 8 fighters from, well, all of our aircraft, all of our fighters are going. Enemy carrier force. Maybe if we close the distance, we'll be able to get the planes on deck before they run out of fuel. Or sorry, before nightfall. So 6 o'clock, 8 to 20, no, 2000 hours. That's 8 o'clock. The sun's still pretty high right up here, but I don't know, man. So it'll be right around sunset. You know, it's just like that happened in the Marianas campaign, right? You chat GPT'd it. I'm sure it's reliable. Might be hallucinating. Might be like, oh, midnight. No, that's pretty, I assume that's pretty reliable data that you don't have to worry as much about. Head west and hit the invasion force. Well, we've already been told that we've disengaged. I didn't disengage. I don't know why the game thought that. I will say one thing that maybe the game needs to work on. These planes, like the second they land, they're good to go again. I do think the rearming is maybe a, I don't know if that's just because it's a demo, but like, I hope they add more of a delay because you won't get midway, that's for sure. That is not a beer. I'm actually drinking a caffeinated beverage. Don't worry. Sunset bomb runs are more cinematic. God damn right. So is Sunset Landing. All right. Prove it. I mean, I guess we will soon, huh? Yorktown's got a pretty healthy air group. The fighters less so, but still. I hope you're not trying to land on my carrier, guys. Oh wait, Lexington might be launching her strike. I think that might be those aircraft. Look at all those sexy beasts there. Can you hear me over the audio? What? Doesn't it look so pretty? Whoa. Alright, that's enough of me trying to get horrible photos. I think Lexington's air group's already off. Yep. Can't see. Everything's blue. The sky, the water. It's all blue. Are we in a cloud? Why does this look weird? Oh, yep. Apparently we were. So this is a small, we've got 2 squadrons of 4. But the Lexington, at the very least, the one positive I would say here is that we do have the lead group does have 8 fighters. So they've got 2 sections of 3 and a section of 2. So in that sense, because the Kaga presumably still has a fighter cap, the combat air patrol, the initial strike that's going in with only 8 bombers will also be going in with the bulk of our fighters, and so maybe they will help clear out the enemy combat air patrol, or at least use them up a bit before the second larger strike comes in with the heavier bomb load. So I'm worse than a Japanese tourist THC? I don't know what that means, Hauser. But the photos, you mean? Okay. I guess you're allowed to say that. Anyway. Who's the yellow aircraft over here? Okay, so we've got 10 plus 2 plus 10 plus 10 plus. We've got all our raids going in. What is this? 35 aircraft on the second raid, 16 on the first, 8 fighters, 8 bombers on the first, and I think 4 fighters and 31 or 5 fighters and 30 bombers in the second. I actually think that is a fortuitous layout. Oh, just look at those. Look at the gorgeous haze. I will say that sun's getting a little bit low for us still being on the way out. For my comfort. Don't worry, boys. The mission planners would never fuck something up. You guys are fine. Don't worry, I would never sacrifice my own men for some arbitrary material gain like destroying Japanese carriers. It looks good, except it's looking disturbingly dark. Like, disturbingly dark. Maybe some of that's just contrast. God help us. Why does it look so dark? Holy shit. They're not even to the target yet. Oh no. It's not even 5 o'clock or it's not even 6 o'clock. Oh no. This isn't good. Oh, they turned on the red light. This is not good. Mistakes have been made. ChatGPT lied? Yeah, maybe. All right, I guess we'll see. Maybe they'll at least get to drop the bombs and then we can miracle end the What would I rate the demo? I mean, I'm happy with it so far. I don't know. Are they going to spot anything? Oh, God. Well, there's flak. Can you actually see what's shooting at you, though? There was flak. Oh, fuck. Maybe you guys should duck down for a look. I think they're turning back. Oh no, it says bombing target. Well, what are you bombing, sir? Because I can't see shit. Everybody get out your cell phones on the deck and hold up your... It'd be funny if the game, like... Oh, shit, there's down there. Somewhere. I see it. Well... Muzzle flashes. It also could just be, I'm not saying this is the case, guys, but it would not be the first time that the game's just like, oh yeah, you guys kind of have perfect vision because, well, you're a computer and the daytime, nighttime is all just a gameplay aesthetic. I'm not saying that's the case, but it wouldn't be the first game to ever do that. That's a close in miss. Straddled. Hit. One good hit. Oh, just off the bow. Just off the bow. The meatball's getting sprayed. Is anybody else attacking yet? You guys, don't turn around. The target's behind you, and you still got bombs. It's on fire. You should be able to see that. These guys are out of bombs. Are you guys just not going to drop? This is actually nav strike 35. 16 apparently dropped too, so they all hit kind of around the same time. We lost one guy who ditched. Poor guy. Are you really not going to bomb? You're just going to fly back to base? Okay. Or maybe you will drop. Shit. God damn it. I was time compressing. Oh, man. Sorry, guys. That was horrible viewing. I was time compressing. I didn't realize I didn't get to the pause button quick enough. But I'd say she's in trouble. Another bomb. Boom. Well, I think we got her. At the very least. I may have, I'm pretty sure Akagi's a goner. It's pretty cool. Nighttime imagery. But yeah, there are at least 4 bombs that hit her. I regret zooming away and then speeding through that last dive bomber attack, but sorry about that. That's some pretty heavy flak there. That was a close pattern. She won't survive, Hauser. The other 2 didn't. I guess that would be Murphy's Law. She would. You can see actually her aircraft on the rear of the ship. They've got at least. Those are some more torpedo bombers. So they didn't lose their whole air wing in the morning strikes, but at the very least, I can't see her being combat effective very long. Gotta love the time compression effects on the fire. Just like, ah! Okay. Are our boys gonna make it back to base? Surface task force over here. Maybe we'll get a nighttime surface action. We're heading in the general direction of those cruisers. Well, they should just follow the map and then open their eyes, and they'll see the aircraft, right? They'll see the carrier. Or they can do a rules of, what was that movie? Not Rules of Engagement. Courage Under Fire, and just everybody turn on your lights. That might be poor radio discipline, or ecom discipline, but. All right. These guys coming back. We've got them on radar at least. I suppose if we've got them on radar, then maybe they could follow the radar beam in. I don't know if they have radar detection gear. I don't know if this game simulates failures on landing. We haven't seen any like planes crash on landing yet. Not that I want to, but I don't know if that's actually a feature. Okay. Thank you very much for the sub, Ryan. if you're watching. YouTube sub's different than... Can't see anything. Good luck landing in that. It sounds like they're landing. There's still some shadow of light on the horizon there. I don't believe that. No landing lights. I don't believe it. It would seem the landings are flawless. Which does take a little bit of the challenge and, you know, if I don't have to worry about if they're landing in the dark, that does change how I would operate with my carriers. I suppose they might have landing lights in the rear, like someone holding up the ball or whatever, but I can't see. All right, so what are we looking at air wing wise? What do we got left? Did we get one aircraft back? What did we have going in? It was 13 fighters, I think, and 40 dive bombers. So maybe we lost 2 or 3. Okay. We'll let these guys get back on deck, and then I think we'll turn. Someone might be lost out here. What's this guy doing? Some of our aircraft are still landing, it would seem. I don't know what this plane, this lone aircraft is doing out there on radar. I've seen them do screenshots of, I think, surface actions, so I suppose it's possible. Maybe we should try and close with that enemy task force. I don't know if I can change speed, but I can. Let's see what we can do. I don't know why that aircraft is out there. They're probably going to crash if they run out of fuel. Pop them with the 20s. We got heavy cruisers with us. They had 2 heavy cruisers, but one of them took a 1,000-pound bomb. She might have gone down. We don't know if the enemy task force has turned north or anything. Oh. 30 knots, please. Make turns for 30 knots. Speeding up. Boom, boom, boom. Let's have a night action with the Japanese in 1942. That sounds like a smart thing. I'm sure nothing bad could happen by racing to face the Japanese in a night action with heavy cruisers in 1942. And don't worry, we've also got our carriers here. Nothing bad could happen. Yeah, I'd rather sink the transports too. But they're way over here. We only spotted one of them. That was 6 hours ago. Over 6 hours ago. What? What is this? This is presumably the enemy task force. Radar detection, 20 nautical miles out. I don't know why it looks like a carrier icon. We're pretty sure it's not a carrier, but... Hey, Whiskey Pack. Surface action. Let's do it, boys. All right. Hostile. One enemy cruiser. 0 minutes ago. Visual. 16 nautical miles. Anderson. Are we already shooting? Well, I don't see anything. Doesn't mean it's not there, but... Just saying, if it's... I also don't know if the demo includes surface combat. I've seen their posts on socials, which indicates surface combat will be a thing, but who's just flying out here in the dark? You aren't seeing 16 nautical miles, buddy, in the middle of the night. Oh. The music changed. Does that mean we're shooting now? Boom! I can't see shit, but I can watch the cruisers fire their guns. Boom! No idea what's happening. Night vision would be nice. I mean, I know we're shooting at something. I think I clicked on the Japanese ship. Nope, that's still the American. Is it really just the one cruiser? Is this the badly damaged? Is this the cruiser we hit with a bomb then, maybe? Well, she's not on fire yet, as far as I can tell. Oh, here we go. Shells are straddling. Is she stationary? Oh, she's shooting back. Look at all those shells splashing off there. She's not moving very fast. I'm assuming this is the one I hit with a bomb. They're reloading those 8-inchers pretty quick. That's all. You guys are just short, or you're just long. Nighttime Navy is OP. Who's Nighttime Navy? The Japanese Nighttime Navy? Perhaps. Be nice to score a hit or two, though. For us, of course, not them. Any of our ships have damage? Don't even know who she's shooting at. No indication. Be a lot easier to follow if this was a daytime action. If I was them, I'd turn to have a broadside for what it's worth. Thank you for the follow, George. She could be aiming for the carriers. I didn't think about that. Why would you say such a horrible thing? Was that a hit on her? It does look like she's got more guns trying to turn now. Yorktown or Lexington still has the same damage. I bet we regret removing those heavier caliber guns. Off the carriers. Night vision goggles would be nice. I also don't know, does the game model how much ammo these ships have? They're all in action though. All of their turrets are firing. Is that an illumination shell? I feel like I saw a star shell. Look at all these shells falling around the damn thing. Oh, she's ablaze. We got some hits. She is ablaze amidships. I can't really tell. I didn't see any flashes from obvious hits, but she's obviously been struck a mortal blow. She's low in the water, I think. What's this say? General quarters on. Okay, Yorktown, they're like, hey, wake everybody up. Maybe we got something going on here. No sign of any of my ships having been hit yet. Just them. Now they're turning away. They're like, maybe we shouldn't try and fight this thing. It says 2 ships now. 1 cruiser, 1 small. Did the enemy ship go away? Did we sink it? I don't see anything. Why does this contacts tab not work? Can't launch aircraft in the middle of the night. You literally can't. The game won't let you. All right, I guess we'll speed things along. I think we might have sunk it. It doesn't look like our... Never mind. We're still shooting at something. Look, it's a machine gun. You out of ammo or just sink him? Oh, you're still shooting. Dun 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 dun. Can't see shit. Thought I hit. Well, I've got time compression going, Whiskey. A little bit slower when I turn the time compression off. Oh, now one destroyer. So we must have sunk the enemy cruiser. And now we're targeting the enemy destroyer, I would guess. No, wait, that's still the cruiser. Oh, no. That's a destroyer. Japanese destroyers always confuse me because a lot of them have that double mount. Look at all those shell splashes around the damn thing. Is it dead in the water? Doesn't really look like it's moving. Blah, 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 blah. Alright, so she just started shooting. I'm guessing my boys just got in range. We're boiling the ocean. Meanwhile, in the midst of all this, the Yorktown's like, we're securing from general quarters. Wake us up when something happens. They're like a T-Rex. If you don't move, it can't see you. They hunt by movement. Man, you guys really can't hit shit. You guys might be running low on shells by now. Oh, it sank. I just saw it disappear beneath the water. No ships left. Alright. Wait. What's this? Oh, no ships left. Alright, boys. Seeing as we obviously sank the enemy carriers, let's turn around. Hello, hunt to me. I don't know if any of my ships got damaged. Let's take a look. Nope. 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 Oh, shit. Russell took some damage to propulsion. Anderson took major damage to propulsion. Did I lose 2 heavy cruisers? Or am I imagining that? We had 4 destroyers. 2 of them are damaged. I can't remember. I thought there were 2 heavy cruisers part of TF-17, but maybe that was the Minneapolis and New Orleans down here? I honestly don't remember. Just that, yeah, we did find the Kaga. We put like 5 bombs into her before sunset, so I generally think we're okay there. We're gonna maybe see if we can find the transports if they're still on map in the morning. I don't know why it's still playing that excited music like there's an engagement going on. It would seem the engagement is done, except for maybe the fact that a couple of our destroyers got split off and damaged. If I can't remember them, they weren't important. Goddamn right. Sorry, buddies, but that's just the fact of the matter. If I don't remember you, you don't exist. Anderson's stuck at 9 knots. Russell's probably reduced too. Well. It probably would have been nice for me to do that engagement at more real time. Flip side of that, of course, is it's the middle of the night and I can't see anything. So how much do you want to stare at nothing while I try and sink something you can't see? Just like I looked away right when the Kaga got hit. This is called A+ filmography. It's you know, it's like when a low budget film when the sharp movies get away with like 20 extras. Like, just imagine there's a bigger battle going on. Just imagine you saw the explosion. You didn't see it. It's suspense. It's like a horror movie. I'm not too worried about the flying boat. It'll be daytime in 6 hours. I suppose the one thing we might need to be mindful of, especially given we don't have all that many fighters, we're well within the Rabaul estimated bomber range. I don't know if this game will throw land-based bombers at us in this demo. Dawn will reveal all. Well, except the ships that sank. Won't reveal them. Trying to get to Dawn, but the time compression really doesn't want me to. It's like, just enjoy. Your chat enjoys you talking to them while nothing happens. I wonder if we'll get another trigger to be like, hey, it looks like you've disengaged. Do you want to end the battle? Go faster, time. How long can that flying boat shadow us? The Japanese did operate flying boats at night though, right? I vaguely remember they used one in theory to spot for some of the bombardments at Guadalcanal. I'm clicking it multiple times to try and speed up the time scale compression. It is locked at 20. If I try and go faster, it just keeps slowing it down. Well, actually 40. If I try and go faster than 40, it slows it down. So maybe we'll just stick it at 40 and wait. It's just so slow. Did ships run lights out in World War II at night? Well, the Japanese used spotlights at Guadalcanal, right? Much to their perhaps chagrin. Perhaps that was unwise. No, this scenario is Coral Sea, so it's May 9th of 1942. So the landing force that we're heading west to interdict would be the Port Moresby landing, if they're even still going that way, if they haven't already pulled back. Boom, 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 boom. So while we wait, how's everybody doing? Well, they were better night fighters until the American battleships with the radars obliterated them, but yeah. I've been drinking some an energy drink at midnight my time. Does that count as Navy coffee? Sunrise is around 6, by the way. So we got 3 more hours to go. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying them, whiskey. I wish I had some whiskey. Yeah, I mean, we did fortunately hit the enemy carriers before they got, well, no, they got their, we had nearly simultaneous strikes, except we scrambled all our fighters for the incoming raids and let our bombers go in unescorted, which meant the first raid of ours lost 20 plus, but we did devastate the Japanese wings. Also, it does help that this is taking place on the second day of Coral Sea, and the first day the Japanese have already lost like half their air wing. One of these days you'll have to talk with me about the obsolescence of tanks. Nope. That would require me to agree that they agree with your premise that tanks are obsolete. I refute your reality and substitute my own. But mine also happens to be right. Hello. How close am I? You know, history of the Great War. I don't think I'm going to get demoted. I think I'm going to get promoted and supersede Nimitz. That's all I'll say. Thus far, we have sunk, well, I believe we have sunk 3 Japanese heavy fleet carriers. We also managed to sink a heavy cruiser and a destroyer, and we haven't lost. We took 1 bomb to Lexington. That's it. That's all. And 2 destroyers were damaged in a night surface action, which you just missed. So now we're turning west, and if the landing force is there in the morning, we're gonna wreck that. So I think I'm gonna be a hero. If this is the real Fletcher, then this guy would not end up getting the reputation of a, I don't know if he really has this reputation, but the McClellan of the sea. I feel like Fletcher kind of gets shat on a bit. Maybe unfairly? I don't know. He was not King's favorite. Let's put it that way. Lex was lost during Coral Sea. I think Spruance is the best American admiral. I put Nimitz in like his own category. He's kind of like Eisenhower, where like I think he was truly great and maybe doesn't get appreciated for how great he was, but in a different way than the operational commanders like Spruance and Nimitz and not Nimitz, Spruance and Halsey and I don't know, whatever the other guys are. But I think Spruance is probably the premier fleet commander of the war. I'm not a big Halsey fan. My grandfather may have been on one of those hurricane fleets, but not a big Halsey fan personally. I do think Halsey did a very good job. Who did he replace? He came in Guadalcanal and like kicked people's ass and got things in order a bit. I think he did a good job there, but as far as like a fleet leader, little bit too much MacArthur in his blood for my taste. Don't like MacArthur either, just to be clear. There were no battleships during the day period. Hey, the sun's come up. I think. Well, it's starting to come up. Look at how pretty it is. All right, how's our task force? I just like blitzed through the night. Anderson still propulsion 1. She's probably way back. Is she keeping station? Hey, look, it's the moon. I'm assuming these stars represent they're the leader of their individual task forces. Whoa. I hear gunfire. What was that? Was that just... Why am I hearing random gunfire when I click on ships, but like only when I click on the ships? I don't see anything that we'd be shooting at. Nothing on the radar. I'm just gonna assume it's some weird glitch. Okay. Okay. All right. Let's do a air search. Create new air search. Swing it around this way. No priority. Shadow all contacts. I don't like this clipboard. Can't see shit with it. Been a long while. We don't really know when or if the enemy turn back. We don't know where they're at. Can we expand that radius a bit? I don't know what the max is, but I'm kind of inclined to say like let's do as wide a search arc as we can. All right, hopefully that's not too wide to avoid detection. I suppose we can add more planes. That should be plenty. That might be too close together, but I'd rather not miss them. So we'll send 10 dive bombers out. Let's take a quarter of our strength. All right, Lexington or Yorktown's gonna do the reconnaissance. Heading into the wind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little fat rabbits. Sorry, just read Flopsy Bunnies or whatever tonight. All right, let's see if we spot them. Can we really not go faster than times 20? Because this is slow. Why are we returning over there? The fleet's not even headed that way. Okay. There they are, I assume. It doesn't look like they've moved. Is it really just the one ship? If it's really only one transport, that's kind of lame. Did they like run aground or something? Maybe they're at anchor. Maybe it's not even them. They do look like they're not moving. Abandoned ship. Woo. New strike. We're not going to do a whole bunch. We'll do... You think 10 dive bombers on a non-moving enemy ship is good enough? I think it is. You know what? Screw that. Torpedo bombers. I'm going to give you your moment. Where are these guys? Are they spotting on which one? Yorktown. 9 misses incoming. The 10th would have hit. I don't know. We'll see. They did sink. The torpedo bombers did have a good day at Coral Sea, didn't they? Didn't they confuse everyone? They're like, oh, they do work. Didn't they? Weren't they instrumental in sinking the... Is it the Shoho? The light carrier? There they go. The one time the Devastators did a good job. I don't know why you guys are flying so high. You can barely carry the damn torpedo. All right, we're gonna launch a new search pattern here. So we had the first group, which was searching kind of out to here. So we'll have the second search group search kind of the other direction. So we'll see. You think TBDs are on borrowed time as it is? I don't know why my planes chose the direction to the return leg that they did. That wasn't the direction I was going with my whoa. You guys see that? Is that a zero? Are these float planes? Ah! No! What the fuck? Where did these float fighters come from? Well, they got one of my guys! No! Guys, if your tail gunners could get anything, you'd think maybe the float plane. Oh, they got him! They got him! Tail gunner got him! Down it goes! Ha ha ha! They don't call those devastators flying fortresses for nothing. But also, why are there two float fighters and what are they flying off of? That's what I need to know. Oh, he's getting hit too. He's trying to duck out of there. He's shooting up the belly with his tail gunner. No, they got another one. Come on, tail gunners. Do your thing. He's shooting at two of my guys at once. There's another one back there? How many of these things do they have? You're gonna go right in front of this devastator. I just pulled the trigger, dude. Oh. I just want to know how many float fighters they got. And what did they take off of? We got at least 3 because we shot one down. How can I not even launch a goddamn torpedo strike against a single merchant without it being a fiasco? I understand they took off the sea. I want to know what they were based from. Right? Like a float fighter presumably is based off a cruiser or a float plane tender or a base. I don't know, Ben. By the way, hey, good to see you. Been a while. I just want to know where they were based. That's my question. How many of my bombers are even left? All right, they got the whole first flight. Second flight is en route to IP. Third flight's getting shot at. Tail gunner, do your goddamn job. It ain't a zero. That plane got shot down by the way. Well, the whole second flight's dead. These guys are... This is the enemy ship over here. So the other flight looks like it's over here based on the smoke. The real question is, it just went down. The real question is, did the enemy aircraft get over to us before we can drop down on this guy and do a torpedo strike? Why are you going vertical? Just nose over and get at this guy. They're evading what? There's no one behind you. I can tell you one thing, you're not going to evade those float planes with torpedoes on. Is there any chance that is actually a tender? A float plane tender? No, doesn't look like one. Looks like a merchant. Fish away! Well, they all got their torpedoes out, so who cares what else happens. 3 fish at an... What I think isn't... I think they're not moving? Hopefully they all run straight and true. Float plane rack on the bow? I don't see one. Oh, there is a float plane here. I think that's a float plane rack. Any of those fish run? Tell me you didn't drop too far away. Oh, there they are. Pause. Shall we get some photos? Let's hope they blow up. Well, I got at least one boom. Second one looks like it was a dud. I assume we sank this guy. That's a pretty cool little kabooey. Oh man, she going down fast. Bye. Damn, sank faster than the Lusitania. Fins up. I don't know if the water's that deep there, but I'll take it. Or maybe she's already on the ground. Maybe not. I don't know. She's sunk either way. Good job, torpedo bombers. This has been a real good day for you. Not day, but... I mean, most of you died. But a good day for the Devastator's reputation, I guess I'll say. Sank a light carrier 2 days ago. Sank a transport today. You're doing your jobs. All right, so that convoy's gone. Whatever it was. All right. I don't know why we're getting like excited music, like there's another battle going on. Probably shouldn't quite go. Maybe don't go quite so close to the island there. I don't want to run aground. I don't know if that's a thing in the game, but that doesn't look good. What's that? I don't think I have any fighters left. Might have a few actually. I don't really care about this guy. Yeah, go for the... I don't care about the snooper. Go get these guys. I'm curious. I guess I'm assuming this is a land-based strike. All right, let's go follow it. They're gonna go after him, so let's go. So we got 12 fighters going out. We don't know what they're facing. I'm in the red circle of death. No, it's not my surviving aircraft. There's 10 of them in that radar contact. It also says many bogeys. Enemy raid en route is also the report, so... You can see them up here. I bet they're Bettys. They look spread out. Oh yeah. Twin engines. Shoot them up, boys. Have a field day. One going down. One broke off. Can you hear me over the voice? Over the noise? Another one going down there. Don't worry, I'm sure Yamato's not on any of these. That's more than 10 bombers. You're right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We've already shot down like 5 or 6 of them. Those engines are rather loud. All right. See the formation there? Man, you're going way up. You really want to dive into this formation, huh? Well, buddies are just bettying along. Oh, they damaged one of the F4Fs. That guy's goner. His wing just broke off. That seems to be one of the, like, if it's not black smoke trailing, then the aircraft's wing just breaks off. That's the way the game handles this. Is that part of the wing I see falling there? That's pretty cool. This guy took some damage too from the tail gunner. Is this the same raid?
Romeo, landing. Sector 340, 30 miles. Angels high.
I don't think the enemy raid's gonna make it. They're still 30 miles out. They've got like 5 left. I don't know what you're evading. I'm taking control. Weaving through the formation. Whee! I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe don't go right at the tail gun. Aww, my little buddy stole that kill from me. Why is my throttle so low? Good lord. It's like I feel like I'm stalling, probably because I am. I totally botched that approach. There's 2. Maybe it's easier to approach from up top. Air sickness bags are in the front. Listen. How flight sim is this? 1 to 10? 3? 10 being DCS? 2? I don't know. There's no one there. I don't know. I don't know how to answer that. I think I got a few hits on him. I don't like coming down like this. Woo! I shot one down. I got him. I got him. The wing broke off and he went down. You can't say I didn't get a kill. I helped save the carrier through my awesome piloting. No track IR, I don't think, anyway. My buddy's gonna get him. He got him. Man, they really like that little right wing snap off mechanic, whatever that is. I think it's just this one enemy plane left. I don't even know if this is a bomber. Nobody else seems to be engaging it. It's the darker chevron, which usually the bluish chevron there indicates friendly. Darker represents, like orange represents hostile. Oh, that's a float plane. That's a Jake. Man, he's doing a little bit of aerobatic stuff here. Certainly more nimble than me. I can't keep up on the turn. Must have just passed me. I didn't see him, but I heard him. I don't know if I want to bother trying to shoot this guy down. Just let the AI do it. Looks like they got him. Because he went away. Alright. Release control. We got one of our torpedo bombers survived. The rest all ditched. Poor guys. What? What? I'm confused. It says there's a carrier there, but I don't see any ships. Thank you for the gift sub, by the way. Couldn't. That was 10 minutes ago, but I'm confused. Didn't I tell you guys not to go so close to those islands? I don't want you running aground. Is it landing aircraft? That's why it can't take off? It says takeoff. They're airborne. We switched them to endurance so they're not carrying the 100-pounders. Hey guys, you look like you're gonna go run aground. Please don't do that. Thank you. You're real close to running aground. Please don't do that. Thanks. I suppose a Kaga could still be afloat. She took a whole bunch of bomb damage last night. I kind of assumed she wouldn't be, but... there's only one way to find out. Why are these guys still... is it because they're... You're gonna go aground! Hopefully we find the enemy ships if they really are out there. I don't know if ships can run aground, Doug. That's a fair question. It would seem at the very least we avoided that concern for the time being. Let's see if we find anything. Searching target. Engaging enemy aircraft. Is this still just the floater? Because if it's just one float plane, I'm not worried about it. I don't see any enemy ships. It's kind of cloudy, but... route to IP. Shit, no. That is not a carrier. I won't complain putting a bomb into a cruiser, but it's definitely not a carrier. And everybody missed. No, maybe one hit. I think everybody missed. No, I see some flame. Something hit, and we only had 1,000-pound bombs on it, so it looks like we put a 1,000-pounder in near the rearmost turret on this heavy cruiser. There's also a second heavy cruiser over this way. I don't know that a single 1,000-pounder would be enough to sink her. I guess we'll see. We can accelerate time. She's definitely taking on some water. I think she'll survive. Looks badly damaged, but I think she'll survive. Okay. Enemy air attack over. Did Yorktown take any damage? No. I don't know what attacked. If it was just a lone enemy float plane, or maybe it... I don't know. Anyway, guys, I think we're going to end this thing here. Let's go to the debriefing.
Victory in the Coral Sea. American and Allied forces, led by the U.S. Navy aircraft carriers, have inflicted a decisive defeat on the Japanese fleet threatening the Australian outpost of Port Moresby. It is the beginning of the end, all thanks to the courageous seamen and flyers of Task Force 17, led by Admiral Fletcher. Next stop, Rabaul.
Strategic victory? Really? What's the full report? For the first time since Pearl Harbor, the tide has truly turned, and decisively so. With the attack on Port Moresby repelled with heavy loss, the enemy has turned tail and is now questioning the validity of its expansion plans in the South Pacific. As Japanese Navy and Army casualties number in the hundreds, if not thousands, as High Command devises new and creative ways to make the best use of our local superiority, it seems the enemy may be coming back for another round, this time at Midway Island. The morale and experience gained at the Coral Sea will put us in a perfect position to rain calamity on the enemy's parade once and for all. Thanks to you. Good job, General. All right, so this seems like a pretty decisive victory. It says strategic victory, tactical victory. I don't know what that means. Maybe you won a strategic and a tactical? To me, that's decisive. The Kaga survived, apparently. Heavily damaged. The Shokaku sunk, 1,200 points. The Zuikaku was only damaged. We never saw her again. She seemed to vanish into the sea, but okay. So we badly damaged 2 Japanese fleet carriers, sank a third, shot down or destroyed 44 A6M20s, 48 B5N2s, 50 D3A1s, 4 EI3A1As, 3 FIM2s, that sounds like a German machine gun, 16 G4M1s, and 1 HK2. Friendly losses, Lexington damaged 600. There's no way. They took 1 bomb hit. The Suikaku took like 3. And then we also had the Anderson and Russell both damaged. We sank 2 enemy cruisers, 3 enemy cruisers. We lost 19 F4Fs, 27 SBDs, 19 TBDs, 3,900 points total score. Okay, so we lost 1,000 points. They lost over almost 5,000. Okay. I don't understand how Kaga survived. She took like 5 or 6 bomb hits. Anyway, whatever. I didn't do the TAC replay, so I can't do the replay. If that had been the historical outcome, the Japanese wouldn't have tried for Midway. Maybe not. Maybe not. We didn't lose a carrier. They lost 2 fleet carrier. No, 1 fleet carrier sunk, 2 badly damaged. Yeah. What never happened? What never happened, Hauser? What are you saying over there? Oh yeah, the Lexington wasn't sunk. That's true. I'm not sure why the game does this, but when I have to like break intermission, I don't know. I think that'll probably do it for tonight though. So I do appreciate everybody coming out. I have enjoyed looking at Task Force Admiral. I'm excited to see what the full game looks like when it comes out, supposedly at the end of the month. Obviously we will see. I don't think anybody else is streaming this right now. Otherwise I'll raid them, but it doesn't look like it. So yeah, I think that's going to do it for tonight, guys. Thanks again for coming out over the last couple of days as we looked at this game. Maybe we'll try it again. But hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope you guys all have a good one. Until next time, this is the Historical Gamer saying once again, thank you very much for watching. And until next time, I'm out. Bye-bye. Hmm.